Do you believe there is a way to catch a 2-ton walrus without a gun and with barely any sound? Today we will explore an ancient Inuit tradition, hunting the walrus. This is a gigantic animal worth up to $25,000, enough to feed an entire Arctic town through the harsh winter. But why, in an age where supermarkets are full of imported goods, however expensive, do the Inuit still hold on to this hunting tradition? Let us find out together. In Nunavut, where temperatures can drop to negative 58 degrees Fahrenheit, you could freeze solid if you stay outdoors for too long. Around you, there is not a single tree, not a sign of life, only vast stretches of giant ice floes. From a distance, you can hear the wheezing breaths of a walrus herd, giants that the native people call morse, a living symbol of the Arctic. They can weigh up to 2 tons, with a layer of blubber up to 4 inches thick to withstand the extreme cold. Would you be surprised to learn that a walrus's tusks are as strong as an elephant's? Those tusks are as sharp as blades, used both for digging breathing holes in the ice and as weapons for self-defense. The walrus is not just an animal, it is a vital link in the Arctic food chain. They eat bottom-dwelling animals like clams and mussels, maintaining the balance of the ocean ecosystem while also being a food source for polar bears and killer whales. For the Inuit, every walrus hunt is a sacred ritual where they thank the animal's spirit and show their respect for nature. They believe that if they do not hunt with respect, the walrus spirit could bring disaster to the entire community. Instead of modern boats or advanced weapons, the Inuit follow in their ancestors' footsteps with the kakivak spear, ropes, and small boats. The kakivak has 3 prongs. The middle one is for piercing, and the 2 on the sides have reverse barbs to hold the struggling prey in the icy Arctic Ocean. In the past, they made the kakivak from walrus or caribou bone, tied securely with leather straps. Today, guns and motorboats are sometimes added, but the traditional core remains intact. Inuit children grow up in the northern cold, listening to their elders teach them how to read tracks on the ice, feel every gust of wind, and subtly recognize the wheezing sound of a walrus coming up from a small hole in the ice. So how do the Inuit manage to pull an animal twice their weight out of the frigid water? When they set out, the Inuit hunting party does not use ordinary boats. They sit in an umiak, a large family boat covered in walrus skin. In the past, the umiak carried entire tribes across the icy waves, and it still bears the mark of the hunt. Each boat is not just a vessel, but a symbol of community strength. They paddle silently through the floating ice, their eyes fixed on the water, searching for any sign of a walrus. A breathing hole, only as big as a fist, is a crucial clue. It is where the walrus surfaces to, breathe after a deep dive of up to 15 minutes. But finding a breathing hole is not easy. It is hidden under the snow, revealed only by faint frost edges or a hint of warmth from the animal's breath. Are you still here? If so, comment with the number 1 because the next scene will keep you on the edge of your seat. When the moment comes, it all happens in a flash. A loud wheeze echoes, and the hunter throws the kakivak spear with immense force, aiming for the neck or shoulder, the rare weak spots on the 2-ton animal. The walrus thrashes violently, splashing water everywhere, sometimes even flipping the boat with its terrifying strength. The moment is so intense that no one dares to look away. The sharp tusks can cause serious injury, and a small mistake could put the entire team in danger. To keep the prey from sinking, they tie a rope to an abatak float, an air-filled bag made of sealskin, which helps to balance the weight. After hours of struggle, when the walrus is exhausted, the hunters use a large knife or spear to finish it, ensuring a quick and minimally painful death. When the walrus is hauled onto the ice, the work has only just begun. the hunters begin their task with patience and skill accumulated over generations. Sharp knives, saws, and special tools have been prepared in advance because every cut requires absolute precision. A small mistake could ruin the precious meat. The thick walrus hide is skillfully cut, kept intact to be used for many different purposes. Once the meat is separated from the bones, it is divided into smaller portions, ready for the distribution ceremony, the most sacred part of the hunt. For the Inuit, walrus meat is not just food, it is a symbol of sharing. The elderly and experienced members receive lean meat because they are the ones who pass down knowledge and decide the community's rules. Women receive meat to cook for their families, render the fat, and sew clothing from the walrus skin. Children and the elderly receive less meat, but it is still an important source of nutrition that helps them stay healthy during the harsh winter. Press the like button right now if you also love this spirit of sharing. Every part of the walrus is valuable. Just 1,100 pounds of meat can be exchanged for $25,000. But for the Inuit, the greatest value is the community bond. After the division, the meat is preserved using traditional native methods, such as wrapping it in skin, burying it under the ice, or drying it for long-term use. Walrus tusks are carefully treated to prevent cracking in the cold, and then, in the hands of artisans, they become knife handles, hunting tools, or works of art. Every carving on the ivory tells a story of survival and Inuit cultural identity. Do you know why the Inuit continue their tradition of walrus hunting when imported food, although expensive, is available in Arctic supermarkets? The answer lies not only in survival, but in deeper values. In Nunavut, a quarter of a gallon of milk can cost $18, and an imported pizza costs 3 times the price of gasoline. A single walrus, with 1,100 pounds of meat rich in protein, omega-3, and vitamin C, is not only cheaper, but also helps them fight diseases like scurvy in an environment lacking fresh vegetables. Have you ever tried walrus meat? What does it taste like? Furthermore, walrus hunting is a thread that connects the Inuit to their ancestors. When a walrus is brought back, the meat is not just for the hunter's family, but is shared with the entire village. From the elderly to families without hunters, to those facing hardship. This is not just generosity, it is like a communal insurance. Today you share, and tomorrow you will be shared with if your hunt is unsuccessful. There are no documents or calculations. Everyone understands who deserves which part. It is a testament to the power of trust and community connection, something the modern world has often forgotten. However, this tradition is not without controversy. With climate change, the Arctic ice is melting rapidly, reducing the number of breathing holes and the living space for walruses. According to the World Wildlife Fund, the walrus population has declined by 20% in the last few decades, leading some environmental organizations to call for restrictions or a ban on hunting. They worry that even small numbers could worsen the risk of extinction. The Inuit, however, argue that their tradition is far more sustainable than modern industries. The Canadian and Greenlandic governments have imposed strict quotas, allowing Indigenous people to hunt only about 1,000 walruses per year, with tight controls on weapons and methods. For the Inuit, hunting is not just about getting food, it is about preserving their cultural identity in the face of modernization. If this tradition disappears, they will not only lose a food source, but also their connection to the land, their ancestors, and themselves. The walrus hunt, therefore, is not just a story about an animal worth $25,000. It is a symbol of survival, of harmony between humans and nature in one of the planet's harshest environments. While climate change threatens the entire Arctic, this tradition reminds us of the importance of living in balance with the environment. It also raises a big question: how can we protect both wildlife and the cultural heritage of a people? Perhaps the answer lies in the respect the Inuit have for nature, taking only what is needed, wasting nothing, and always being grateful. What do you think about this story? Are you impressed by the Inuits' walrus hunting tradition? Or do you have an opinion on balancing nature conservation with cultural preservation? Leave a comment below, press like and subscribe to discover more unique stories from the wild world. Thank you for joining us, and see you on our next journey.
At the plant, the process begins with cleaning the crabs with cold water or brine to remove impurities. Then, the crabs are moved to a processing line that is fast but requires skill. Workers place the crabs on a specialized machine with blades to separate the body from the legs, a precise operation to avoid tearing the meat or breaking the legs. Next, the gills, the black part at the base of the legs, are removed with a special rotating machine, ensuring cleanliness and efficiency. The crabs are weighed and resorted by size, with the valuable claws separated. Finally, the crab legs are carefully cut apart, ready for the next steps like steaming, freezing, or packaging for export. Technology is gradually being implemented to increase efficiency. Automated systems for sorting, cutting, and packaging are being deployed, helping to address labor shortages and boost productivity. Are you surprised by this level of meticulousness? The king crab on your dinner plate goes through so many stages to maintain that freshness. The most crucial stage is cooking. The crab legs are neatly arranged in large mesh baskets, submerged in an industrial water bath at 185 degrees Fahrenheit, and cooked for 30 minutes to ensure the meat is cooked evenly, achieving its natural sweetness and firm texture. Immediately after cooking, the crabs are dipped into a cold water bath to lock in the flavor and prevent bacterial growth. They are then moved to smaller baskets to optimize airflow, and then deep frozen at 0 degrees Fahrenheit in a saltwater brine in just 35 to 40 minutes. A thin layer of ice is glazed onto the crab legs, acting as a shield to protect them from dehydration and freezer burn during storage. Finally, the crab legs are packed into bags and cardboard boxes, ready for market. A 2.2-pound box containing 3 to 4 crab legs can be worth up to $300 depending on the market. The processing, though modern, is not the main focus of this story. What is truly remarkable is the value that these crabs represent. From the cold seabed to the luxurious dining table, each crab is the result of sweat, perseverance, and courage. They are not just food, they are a symbol of a challenging profession where humans confront nature to bring back treasures of brilliant red. Do you think that behind every king crab dish on the table, there is a story of life and death? The king crab fishing industry is not just a job, it is a part of maritime culture. The ships, the traps, and the crews have turned the sea into a red gold mine, generating millions of dollars each year. But more than that, it is a story of resilience, of people willing to face the storm to nurture their dreams. If you love journeys like these, stories of people in the sea, please like the video and subscribe to the channel to continue exploring the secrets beneath the deep waters with us. King crab is not just a dish, it is a journey, and we want to share that journey with you.